What's going on, Rovers? Sam here, back at it again for another video with another patch coming to a close. Y'all already know what time it is. It's time for an updated Wuthering Waves tier list. Let's get into it. All right, gamers, you already know we start off with the newest characters, starting with Cardathea. I think Cardathea firmly in SS, an amazing DPS, really good AoE. Now, the only drawback is kind of similar to Zani. If you don't have Chacona, your damage is gonna suffer a little bit, but even with Sanhua, like I don't have Chacona yet. I use Sanhua. Fleur de Liers, aka Cardathea, sweeps, man. Really good character. Crushes with arrow erosion. If you want this character, feel validated and vindicated that you can build your account around this character as a top tier DPS carry. Now, Lupa is really interesting. I absolutely love wolves. Wolves are one of my favorite animals. The fact that she is a she wolf, literally, Lupa means she wolf, is dope. I think design wise, she clears. I think she is a better designed character, in my opinion, than Cartier. I really like the twin tails. I like her color palette. I just think she looks awesome. And I think in the story, I think everybody kind of had a attraction to her personality. She just seems kind of cool, kind of feisty. But I think playstyle wise, I think she is at the top of S. And I'm just gonna put all the fusion characters at the top of S because I think the team itself, like this team, is one of the best teams in the game. But they're so heavily predicated upon one another, and obviously that was Kuro's intentions. And this team like functions so well, like you know, uh, Lupa into Brant into Chen Li. Like the rotations are smooth, they're snappy, but I just feel like the parts kind of make the whole. Like all these characters together is just so much better than like if you were to kind of separate these characters. So and for that reason, I kind of have all of them in like the highest possible S. I'm not gonna be mad with you if you put them and sneak them into SS, but I just think you really ideally want to have all three of these characters together. Brant's kind of the DPS in this regard. He's also like the sustain character. Lupa's the buffer. Chen Li, can do some respectable damage and also buffs. So I just think to maximize this team, to maximize these characters, you really want to have them all together. And I think for me personally, that just knocks them down just a smidge, just a smidge. Zani, easy SS. You can make an argument that these two are the best DPS characters in the game. Now, there's a caveat. They do need to have, you know, their respective characters. We really want Phoebe here. We really want, or you could argue Chacona, and we really want Chacona here as well. But I think these two are like the pinnacle DPSs in the game. Just like I think their pure DPS uh, floor is, the peak in the game right now. I prefer Zani personally. I don't know what it is, but just when I use her in TOA and I use her in Whimpering Waste, her targeting is insane. Like I don't know if it's like built into her kit, but like I will literally be attacking an enemy over here. I'll kill that enemy, and then I'll click my mouse, and she automatically targets over here. I don't know. I haven't really felt that with any other character in the game. Maybe I'm just losing it. I mean, that's very possible, but Zani's awesome. Don't get me wrong, love Carthea, but I think these two are the best all around DPS characters in the game. Let's move to Carlotta. I think Carlotta is right up there as well. She's the best single target DPS in the game. Amazing for TOA, arguably kind of the queen of TOA. Amazing for hologram, arguably the queen of hologram. Not the best for whimpering, but still very solid. Like if you kind of position yourself to like line up the enemies in whimpering ways, she'll be able to hit them all. But an amazing character, one of my favorite characters in the game. Um, Very easy to build. You can definitely use Tao Chi. Obviously you want Zhezha to maximize her damage, but an amazing character. Can't recommend her enough. One of my favorite characters in the game. One of the best DPSs in the game. Phoebe. Phoebe is awesome. I really like Phoebe as well. Phoebe is also firmly an SS. Really, really versatile character. Can be a very, very solid DPS. And I think with the introduction of Chacona, if you want to build DPS, Phoebe, very, very, very viable with Chacona. Obviously, best support for Zani. And then, the fact that she is an amazing exploring character. Like anytime I'm not in, Rinus Theater or Septimate, I'm always slapping in Phoebe just because it's just comfy and fun to explore with. But as a whole, I think she is firmly an SS character. Arena, I got roasted for putting her in S last tier list. Y'all are right. She should definitely still, or sorry, I got roasted for putting her in S. She should still be in SS. She is still the second best healer in the game. Her rotations are and field time is like pretty minimal and smooth. If you have S2 Verena, forget about it. Like you literally click one button and she's maxed on Concerto. I do find myself doing, less damage with her in the team, obviously, because you're not getting the crit rate and crit damage buff from Shorekeeper. But still firmly an SS character. Shorekeeper, best character in the game. Do we need to say anything else? She should be the #1 priority character. Yeah, I don't really think I need to say anything else. Best healer, get crit and crit damage buffs. Amazing character. Go for it. Now, Camellia, I think, is still an SS. And you might be like, bro, how can you put her over the Fusion team? I'll tell you why. She is probably the easiest DPS to get up and running in the game. Literally, her best, or arguably best support is Sanhua, a free character. And then you can get Verena from your pick a free 5-star. And then all you have to do is summon for Camellia. And then you can use the free 5-star weapon. That is like the easiest solid team to get up and running in Wuthering Waves. And I just think her AoE is awesome. I really think she's fun to use. Like I know the spinning top can be dizzying, but I find it really enjoyable and really fun. Like she's honestly one of my favorite characters to explore the game with, just because she kills trash mobs so fast. Um, and for me personally, like I don't see myself getting another Havoc DPS. Like I know Perlova is coming, but I don't see myself ever replacing this character. So I personally, this might be hedging a bit. I still put her in SS. Sanhua. Now, I don't want to put like every character in SS, but like Sanhua definitely deserves to be there. But I will throw her in like the highest possible regards. Like you could do S plus. Like these characters could be S plus, and then these characters are SS. But like Sanhua, one of the best characters in the game, best 4-star in the game, arguably. Amazing for Cardathea. Um, just such a stinking good character. Like she is she is not Bennett. Like they do different things, but like as far as universal applause, like she is as good as Bennett and like other top tier 4-star characters in other gotcha games. Like really good sub DPS, like gets an insane, gets her Concerto insanely fast, really fast rotations, an amazing character. Like you could easily make the argument SS, but I won't. I won't. Just so not every character looks like they're amazing. I'll knock her down a peg, but like an amazing character, get her for free. If once you get her S6, like she is racked. Encore. Encore is so adorable, man. She is firmly an A. Like, if you like Encore, you could easily justify getting Lupa and just continuing to make Encore one of your main DPS characters. I don't really know what else I need to say. Like, she's really solid. Like, obviously, she's a standard 5-star, and this is definitely the Pinnacle Fusion team. But if you like Encore, definitely go snag Lupa. And your Encore is gonna be slapping, bro. Like you could do Lupa, Encore, Shorekeeper. Like that's a respectable team. That's a respectable fusion team. Obviously, it's not this team. And this team, gives you the ability to use Shorekeeper elsewhere, which is very useful. But hey, Encore, she still slaps, man. Uh Gion is S. Gion is still S. Unfortunately, now that I have Carthia, I'm not sure how often I'm gonna be using Gion as my like arrow DPS. Although this is arrow erosion, so it's a little different there, different team comps, but he's still a really solid character. Arguably still like top tier character along with Camellia for Whimpering Waste. And he's got some grouping. But yeah, so another drawback about him is that he is a little bit more dependent on limited weapon as far as like maxing his damage, but I don't think you could knock Gion any lower. He's an amazing character. Um, and he's still, first character in the game. He's still hanging around. So respect Kuro for the minimal, um, power creep. Chacona. Chacona is easily SS. I am so bummed I didn't get her. Not only does she look adorable, but like the fact that she is amazing for Zani, is amazing for Carthia, makes like improves Phoebe's DPS capabilities. Like she is one of the most versatile characters in the game. Oh, by the way, she has like some pretty decent gather associated with her kit. Like an amazing character. Like I am so mad at myself for not getting her. I just didn't know if I was going to get Carthia. I didn't know if I was going to like Carthia as much. Turns out I do. So Chacona is my top priority character because I don't have her. But SS for sure. Yinlin, she's A. The Yinlin slide, if you will, continues. Like she's still a really solid character. Her and Mr. Yao, like probably still pinnacle um, Electro team. But, her rotations, granted they are very swap cancelable. And once you figure it out, it's not that bad. But like I just feel like she's kind of in the same ballpark as like Rocha for me. Like Zhang Liao is very, very good with Chen Li, like as a dual DPS because she gives liberation with her outro. And she might get better down the road. Like obviously she's gonna be kind of universal for Electro characters, but I just feel like as far like String Master, get her weapon over her. Like that's kind of where she's at. Like the character is solid, the weapon is like god tier. But again, if you really like the Electro team with like uh, her, Mr. Yao, and Shorekeeper, like I still use this team and it still does very well in TOA. I don't use it as much in Whimpering. I just think there's much better teams, but still, she's solid. Like you're not gonna crush your team, crush your account if you really like her and you want to build an Electro team. Jinshi. Jinshi is S. I'm not putting her at S tier. Call me crazy. She's an amazing character. One of the best DPSs in the game. Really good for TOA. Really good for hologram. She's absolutely dookie chip. Okay, not absolutely, but she's kind of dookie chips and whimpering. And I think that's enough for me to knock her down a peg. Mortefi, still S tier. This might change shortly. Winky face, if you know, you know. But still Gion's best support. One of the best coordinated attackers in the game. I don't know how much that'll change, but still very, very solid character. Gives a sizable heavy damage increase with his outro, which again has universal appeal. So we like that. So Mortefi still firmly in S. Mr. Yao, you could put him down here as like top of A. I'm still going to put him as S. He's definitely not better than Jinshi. Again, pairs very well with Chen Li, which is Big Pog. It's a fun dual DPS comp. Obviously, I prefer to use him, you know, in a full Electro. Well, not full Electro, but in a Shorekeeper Yin Lin team. Very, very solid. Really good AoE. Has a freeze, a time stop built into his kit, which is cool. Can kind of help you ensure that you get all your rotations off, which is Pog. But yeah, I think he's solid. Like he might be like A plus, but I put him in S because I think if he was free. We love free characters. His weapon is pretty solid, which we like. But yeah, he looks cool. I like the robot arm. I think he looks proper, and I think he's properly rated at S. Zhezha. Now Zhezha is really interesting. I've seen a lot of people put her at SS. I'm gonna slide her. I'm gonna slide her like S plus S. These four are like S plus basically. Um, Arguably the best coordinated attacker in the game. Amazing for Jinshi. Amazing for Carlotta. Just a really again her and Chacona. I slept on. Like I didn't see it like when Jinshi came out and then Zhezha came out, I was like, I'm not getting Zhezha. Like, what is the point? And then Carlotta came down, like, holy snap, I need to get Zhezha. And then honestly, Zhezha crippled my account because it's some of the worst pulls on her in my life. Maybe that's why I knock her down because I'm bitter at how bad my pulls were for her. But an amazing character. Can't recommend her enough. If you like Carlotta, please, please, please make sure that you get Zhezha as a priority. They're like the perfect pair. Glacio damage increase, skill damage increase. Again, characters that give a whole damage archetype increase, like heavy damage increase, skill damage increase, they're just going to have much more viability long term. So I can't recommend those characters enough. I do think Jeja is firmly an S. You can make the argument for SS, but I think I like her there. Rocha, again, I've seen people put her in S. I'm going to put her probably at the top of A. The reason being is Sanwa. Like, I know that S0 Rocha is probably mathematically a little bit better than Sanwa. That's specifically for Camellia. But now the Sanwa pairs pretty well with Cardathea. I just think Sanwa is like, man, put Sanwa, put Sanwa in SS. Like, I like characters that can be plugged into like different team comps. Characters that are so rigid and rounded to, specific elements like the fusion team. Granted, it's super strong. I just knocked them down. So like Rocha really, really wants to be with Camellia, but I think Sanhua is just almost as good and she's used in other teams. So for me, I knock Rocha down. Obviously, Rocha's still amazing, amazing for Whimpering Waves because of her gather, but you know, Mamma Mia is fun. It's adorable. It's cute. But for me, I feel like she's kind of like an excess character. She's not really necessary. Kind of similar to Cantarella, who I'll talk about. Like, I wouldn't say Cantarella is excess because decent coordinated attacker has some healing. The problem with Cantarella, she just doesn't have a good running mate just yet. And again, Winky Face, this could be changing very soon. But I think these two are like top of A. I would probably put Cantarella above because she has more nuances to her kit. Like I said, coordinated attack can heal. Obviously, design wise, SS. But again, she doesn't fit. She's kind of like a circle and a square peg, like really close to fitting perfectly, but not quite. So that's why I kind of put both of these two very, very high A tier. Like if you get them, not going to cripple your account, but again, you're probably going to want to go for Camellia. And then Cantarella, we kind of have to wait and see who she pairs well with. But, like Havoc Rover, obviously a good pairing. But again, just kind of a type of character. Not not like amazing yet. Sephiroth, aka Calcharo. I think if you've been playing Wuthering Waves for a long time and you understand, the mechanics and how to, maximize rotations, I think he's B. I don't think I would put him any higher. Like, call it what it is. Mr. Yao is like so much more comfier and easier to use. I feel like most most Wuthering Wave gamers are probably more casual. Like, yes, they're sweaty gamers in every game. And I think Wuwa probably has like a larger contingent of sweaty gamers. So like you can make an argument for him higher. I don't, just because I think he is very hard to maximize his damage output. But again, one of the coolest looking characters in the game. Like, man, again, SS design, clap, curl. But like as far as actual viability in the meta, I still think he's like B tier. Genshin, really interesting character. I do kind of put her in C just because she's kind of like a jack of all trades, master of none. Like, really good shield. She gives liberation with her outro, which is Big Pog. Really, probably arguably the best gatherer in the game, which is cool. Like, if you get her early on, it's not crippling. But like, I think if you've been playing Wuwa for long enough and you lose your 50-50 to her, you're like, ouch. Not as bad as this feller, but she's solid. Like, again, she does a lot, but she's not great at anything. So for me, I put her in C. You could argue she's like B, but again, I just think there's other characters that do what she does better. And like you can build better team comps without her, if that makes sense. Lin Yang, sorry. I'm sorry. Guys, this is the Chi Chi. Like, they don't do similar things, but like this is a character that if you get, it's like woof. Like, and I'm not saying woof because he's a dog boy, but like Yes, he's cool. He's adorable. I think his animations are cool. Like the walking on the little, platforms is cool. But like, nah. Sorry. Like there's so many other good DPSs. Like Carlotta absolutely clears him for Glacio. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's cool. Not great. Genshin, I think she's easily B tier. If you're really good at Wuwa and like you like the Berserker type, like her damage output is actually pretty ludicrous for a 4-star. And if you're comfortable being in that like red bar health all the time, very respectable damage. And also like as a hybrid character with Havoc Rover, like whoo, she's solid, man. Like 4-star DPS go burr. Like she pretty solid. Alto, again, another really cool character, but again, not great. Like I thought we might see a little bit more tick for him with air erosion. It didn't really pan out the way I thought. You could still pull it off, but again, just not a character that I prioritize and I think that you should really invest in. Like you know, if you want to early on, fine. But as you get further on, like if you're a newer player and you expand your roster, like he's definitely going to fall off very, very quickly. Chisha, good news, man. Chisha is rising. Like, I don't know if I would put her above Kalchara, but it's close. Like, you give her Carlotta's weapon and you pair her with Lupa, like, brother, that's kind of sneaky. I still prefer Encore personally. That's why, I have Encore higher. But like Chisha, you could do worse. You could do worse. Um, yeah, so I think, B plus, like high B, respectable. I don't have I wouldn't like berate her like Lin Yang, but I wouldn't go over the top. So solid B. Tauchi, C, like again, kind of a cumbersome character. Um, if you don't have Jeja, technically, really good alternative for Carlotta because of the skill damage increase with her outro, but clunky. Beto, but worse. Um, good assets. That's it. Yuan Wu, again, another C tier character. Now, he's kind of interesting because he does have some coordinated attacks. And if you're really struggling, like if like early game, if you're a new player, you're getting clapped and you get some sequences for him. Like he was my first S6 character, which kind of sucked. He's got some really decent shielding and defense increases, which is fine. Again, shielding in Wuwa is cool, but like you really want to get to the point where you're high dodge, high parrying. So if you find yourself struggling, build them up. But again, just not an amazing character. Baija, she's cool. She is solid B. She's arguably the third best or third or fourth best healer in the game. Gives some deepen with her outro, which is cool. I still find myself like in TOA, if I just want to slap it, mine's not even built, but if I just want to slap a healer on just to give me like a few little ticks of healing, what the heck? I'll slap her in. If you get sequences of her, cool. If you don't have Shorekeeper and you have Verena, build her up because she's still very viable. But yeah, I think she's properly a solid B character. Same with Yang Yang. Like early on, Yang Yang's cool. You can make the case that Yang Yang is really good in Whimpering Waste because of her gather. But yeah, just a properly solid B character. Now, I might make another video about this, but I'm wondering, and I'm kind of hoping that Kuro follows the same projection as Honkai Star Rail and like making 4-star characters 5-star characters. Like I've still always found it really interesting that she is the icon character for Wuwa, like the game, like the loading file, and it's not Rover. So if she becomes a 5-star, I think she could easily, and this is all hypothetical, I think she'd easily move up because I do think there's like nuances to her kit that are solid and really good. But again, kind of like Zhang Xing, but different. She's just not like amazing at anything. She's just solid. But like if she becomes a 5-star, watch out. No. Yoo-hoo, boo-hoo, no. Sorry. No. Similar with Lumi, like these two characters, Like, unless you really like to run around with Lumi and look at her hail, no. I'm sorry. Like, yes, she gives a skill uh damage increase with her outro, Carlotta, but like, no. Sorry. They're adorable, but no. I'm not building these characters. I'm not investing into them. No. Now, the Rovers, this is where it gets interesting. I've thought about this really hard, and I think I'm going to just put them all in S. You can make an argument that they should probably be like high A. I'm going to slap them into S, probably at the bottom. Um, Spectre Rover is awesome. A very, very viable character. Does a lot. You know, really good for Spectral Frazzle. So you can pair with Phoebe, you can pair with Zani, but also has healing abilities. So, you know, you do have to get sequences, but you get them from just playing the game, playing the story. I think Spectre Rover is probably the best. If I just because really good hybrid unit, decent sustain unit, good in multiple team comps. So I think at worst case, I think I'm sorry, Spectre Rover is the only one that's like should universally be S. I think you can make the argument that these other two are in A, like high A, but I'm gonna put them all as S because I think they're all very solid. Like Havoc Rover is an amazing DPS. Like early game could easily carry you. You know, you could pair them with Cantarella if you really want Cantarella. Obviously, you know, very good if you use, you know, hybrid Danjin and double Dreamless, like very solid. And then now that Cardathia is out, Arrow Rover is solid because again, like I mentioned earlier, Arrow Rover gives you the ability to not have to rely on Shorekeeper for your Cardathia team, which is awesome. Like Cardathia, Chacona, Arrow Rover, awesome. Arguably Cardathia's best team, and it doesn't require Shorekeeper, which is a big pog. So yeah, I think all three Rovers are S. You can make your argument for A, but I think because of how solid they are and how well they can boost, you know, team comps, I put them all in S. I'll put them all in S. But I think that's pretty much it, gamers. I know there's a lot of I know there's a lot of characters in S, but I genuinely think all these characters are very like there's arguments that some of these characters could be moved up. But I do think SS is pretty locked in for me. But let me know. Let me know. Y'all always roast me. I love responding to y'all comments. I love having debates like where characters should line up. But as always, appreciate y'all so much, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.